Our emotions are a constant source of guidance about the manifesting power of our thoughts, and they also tell us whether or not we're currently allowing or resisting the manifestation of our desires. So in this video, we'll break down how our emotional guidance system works so that we can better understand what emotions actually are and how to best work with them in order to manifest our desires. But first, if you're new here, then welcome. My name is Adrianne. I'm a manifesting coach and intuitive guide, and on my channel, we talk about getting into the flow and manifesting with ease. So if that's something you're interested in, I invite you to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you'll be the first to know when I publish new videos. So let's start by talking about kind of the ideal state of how maybe things are designed to work with the emotional guidance system. So we are source energy in a physical body. This is represented by us, and we've got this source energy always flowing to us and through us, and we're seen as kind of being like the king or queen of our reality, is what I would say, because whatever we desire, source energy is naturally wanting to flow to that and create its manifestation. So as long as we don't do anything to counter this natural process, this is kind of how it's designed to function. And also, by the way, what I'm sharing in this video is coming from the teachings of Abraham, and so that's kind of the manifesting background that I'm using. They came up with that term of emotional guidance system as far as I'm aware, and so that is kind of the basis for what I'm sharing with you in this video. With that in mind, I'm going to share a quick quote from Abraham. They say, "Your emotions let you know how much source energy you are summoning in this moment by virtue of the desire you hold in this moment." So yeah, that's kind of the first thing that emotions are telling us, is about how much source energy we are summoning. And it's what I'm trying to show in this little drawing is, like, if we have a strong desire, we are summoning more source energy. There's a more powerful flow of source energy and a stronger manifesting power as a result. And when we have a strong desire flowing about something, we really want something, we're very clear that we want it and it's a very strong desire, we have strong emotion about it too, either positive or negative. On the other hand, if we have kind of a weak desire, we're kind of like, okay, I could take it or leave it, I don't really care too much about this topic, then it's a weaker desire. It doesn't summon as much source energy, there's less manifesting power, weaker, and also we have less emotional guidance on that topic as well. So that's kind of the first thing that our emotions are telling us, is if we have a strong emotion, it's telling us that this is really important, that this topic, whatever we're focused upon that's producing a strong emotion, really matters to us. It's really important, and we're summoning a lot of creative manifesting power towards that topic. Versus if we're having weak emotion, at least in that moment when we're having the weak emotion, whatever we're thinking about, our emotions are telling us we haven't summoned that much manifesting power. We're just kind of maintaining things as we are. We aren't accessing as much source energy power of the universe to create something brand new. So now in this third drawing, I want to talk about the other thing that our emotions, our emotional guidance system is telling us about, which is our level of resistance. Resistance is basically any thoughts that we're thinking that are countering our desires. So definitely some form of doubt or disbelief that we can really have the desire that we want, or noticing more strongly what is versus imagining or thinking about what we want. Those kind of things can be resistance against the strong desire or against the desire arrow of creating something new. And so when we have strong desire, in this drawing, basically I'm trying to show the two extremes. And so at one extreme would be, we have a strong desire and we also have strong resistance. And so in that is the case where we would have the strong negative emotion, versus if we have a strong desire and no resistance, then that is a strong positive emotion. So just to kind of understand, in the last drawing I was showing, if we have a strong desire, we're summoning a lot of source energy. And what creates the negative emotion in that case would be if we have a lot of resistance, if we really want something but we really doubt it, or we really are noticing the opposite, then we're having strong negative emotion and we are not allowing manifestation. Versus the ideal on the other end of the other kind of possibility would be, the other strong possibility would be, we'd have a strong desire but we have no resistance, and then we are experiencing strong positive emotion, we are strongly allowing manifestation. And so things could range between these two kind of extremes. We could have strong desire and maybe less strong resistance, but still a high level of resistance. So then it's like we're moving towards manifestation, but we're having a lot of inner resistance towards moving towards it. So it's manifesting, but it's not very enjoyable, or it's not very easy. Or we could have kind of a weak desire and no resistance, then we're manifesting, but it's not like what we really, really want or something like that. So this just kind of shows the two extremes, but basically this is to show what is creating our emotions is this interaction between the desire arrow and the resistance arrow. And then the final thing that I wanted to briefly touch on in this video is Abraham's emotional scale, because this is actually an even more detailed way to understand our emotional guidance system. They've taken this range of emotions, of potential emotions, and organized them from 1 to 22, from the most allowing of manifestation, least resistant emotion, to the most resistant emotion. And so in a future video, I'm planning to go a lot more deeply into this emotional guidance scale, but I wanted to go ahead and show it to you in this video because it's helpful to kind of see that what we've been talking about in this video is what creates this emotional guidance scale. Basically, with those arrows we were looking at, if you are at the top of the scale, you've got a strong desire and you're in alignment with it, you're not resisting it, you're allowing it, versus you have a strong desire if you're at the bottom of the scale, that's that other extreme where you've got a strong desire but you're strongly resisting it, and so you're feeling kind of the worst of negative emotion. And then kind of in this range right here, which says contentment, number 7, boredom, pessimism, that's more the area where there's not really a strong desire focused in this moment, so there's not very strong emotion, not as strong of momentum. And then the kind of the momentum of manifesting in the positive increases as you go up this way, and the momentum of feeling negatively and of blocking the manifestation increases as you go down the scale. So anyway, that is a little bit about the emotional scale. Like I said, in my next video or in a future video, it might not be the very next one, but probably the one after that potentially, I'm going to go deeper into breaking down the emotional scale and how to work with it really specifically in a detailed way to help manifest what you want. Now I just want to conclude by sharing a couple of things that I find really helpful about this understanding of the emotional guidance system. So the first thing that I find really helpful about understanding about the emotional guidance system is that it helps me to not get as lost in the story of whatever my mind is telling me that's causing negative emotions. It helps me to see them less as truth and more as just guidance, that I'm off track from what my source is thinking about the same topic, because that's kind of how you can think about this guidance too, is like it's telling you how closely your thoughts match the thoughts of how your inner being, how the source within you is seeing the same topic. And so understanding emotions in this way helps me not spin as much in negative thoughts, but instead kind of see them as this guidance that I'm off track, that there are other thoughts on this topic that I could find that would feel better and that would allow more of the manifestation of what I want. And so it helps me then start to look for those instead of trying to spinning more in the negative emotions. So that is the first thing that's been really positive. And the second thing that I think is a big benefit of understanding the emotional guidance system is just the awareness that if you are in one of those lower vibrations that don't feel as good, where you're more resisting the source energy that wants to flow towards what you want, so like down from boredom and down, then yeah, in that state you're resisting the source energy that wants to flow towards manifestation. You're also resisting clarity and like understanding about the situation. And so just with that awareness, a lot of times that helps me be able to stop myself from trying to figure out a solution to the problem that I'm seeing that's causing the negative emotion, or trying to access clarity. If I'm in that kind of a state, it helps me remember, like, okay, yeah, if I'm in that kind of a state, it's not the state where I'm going to find clarity, I'm going to find solutions, I'm going to find answers. Because a lot of times it can be really tempting when you are in one of those more resistant places to want to try to fix whatever problem you're perceiving is bothering you and causing you to feel negatively, it can feel really tempting to think like, how can I stop this situation, or how can I fix this problem, or whatever it is, because you want to do that in order to feel better. You think that's what you need to do. But instead, when you remember that when you're in those lower energy, less access to source kinds of states, that's not where you find solutions and clarity, because you're blocking those, you're blocking the clarity, you're blocking the source energy that wants to flow when you're in the more resistant place. Then you can give yourself permission to just focus on feeling better, finding thoughts that soothe, finding thoughts that feel better, that allow the source energy to flow more towards the manifestation. And that really helps you to, not struggle to try to figure things out or solve a problem when it can't really be solved from that state anyway. So those are my thoughts, some of the things that I found to be helpful in understanding and working with Abraham's concept of the emotional guidance scale. But I'd love to hear from you. Is this a new concept for you? Have you heard of the emotional guidance scale before? Does it resonate with you? Or how do you understand emotions when it comes to manifesting? Share any thoughts that you have about this idea of the emotional guidance system and the role of emotions in manifesting in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. And if you'd like more manifesting tips and tricks and inspiration from me, then like always, I have a link to my free guide to the 7 habits of highly magical people in the description box below this video, so you can check it out if you're interested. If you like this video, I definitely recommend checking out this next video about how to tell when your desire will manifest, because the emotional guidance system is key in that process. So thank you again for joining me today, and until next time, happy manifesting.